Right. Let's talk about Nintendo. Let's start with Super Mario Maker 2. I am a huge fan of this game. It is a really really fantastic game, and I have to say that Nintendo, of course, is they're just knocking it out of the park with this particular game. It's so much fun, and it's about to get a whole new fresh coat of paint, and that fresh coat of paint includes the update version 2, which brings us some very very cool new features, new parts to the course. Let's talk about what those pieces are. First off, we've got Spike. Spike is this dude that spits out this giant ball of spiky ball, and if you run into it, it hurts you. But people can use it in order to give Mario a platform to jump on, in order to have it act as a weight, in order to interact with blocks. If you're playing on the winter mode, it comes out as a snowball instead, which has different ways of interacting. They're adding in Pokey, which is one of my favorite characters from Super Mario World. Or actually, I think it was originally in Super Mario Brothers 2, one of my favorite games of all time. But basically, he's a giant stack of cactuses, and I always liked going up against him with Yoshi because you can eat all the pieces, and it was always just very very satisfying. You can make him fly around and stuff. You can turn him into a snowman in the winter mode. This really kind of feels like a winter update. There's a lot of winter themed things. You also can add like these frozen coins, which are unbreakable unless you get firepower, and then you can start melting them and picking up the coins. And I can foresee a lot of people doing some really cool puzzles with having to have fire and melting these ice block coins. They're also adding in the P block. Now the P block is this basically invisible block. I almost feel like we already have a version of this with the switch block, which lets you switch these things between red and blue. But the P block is just one where you turn all of them on or all of them off every time that you hit the P block. They're also adding in a dash block. This allows Mario to run really, really fast for a short amount of time. And they kind of show different ways that you can use it in the video. By the way, if you want to check out the video, go to runjumpstomp.com. This is episode 442, I believe, if I remember correctly. And you can see the whole video. But all of that, while being really, really cool, is nothing compared to what they showed at the end of the video, which is the Master Sword is now a power up in Super Mario Maker 2. And I think that this is probably the most interesting thing, not just because you grab it and you turn into 8-bit Link, which is super cool, but it also has his powers. So you can use the sword to attack. You have bombs. You have a shield to block things. You have the bow and arrow as well. You can do a dash attack and a drop down attack, kind of like Link in Zelda 2. And I just think that this is incredible, and I cannot wait for this. And guess what? We're not going to have to wait for long because this is coming out on December 5th, which is just 3 days away. I'm extremely excited for what people can do with this. I'm not going to make anything. This is not my kind of like I just don't make stuff, but I love the infinite replayability of Super Mario Maker 2, and I love that they're adding this. In addition to that, they also added in a new mode called Ninja Speedruns. Ninja's this little like black starfish looking thing almost, and you basically are racing against all of these ghosts of other people to try and get the fastest time. This kind of reminds me of there was a oh gosh, what's there was a Mario Battle Royale, and it was you racing against other Mario ghosts to try and get to the end. Although I can't remember if they were ghosts or if they were actual players that you could interact with. I'm pretty sure you didn't interact with them, so I think that they were ghosts. But overall, I think that this update is really really cool, and I'm very excited for what is going to be added to this game with just a few new pieces of content, it's going to really change the way that you can make games. And I can't wait to see what people can come up with for Super Mario Maker 2. I think that this is going to be fantastic. And I'm curious, do you guys, are you excited for this? The one thing that makes me worry is, you know, all of these powers that the Link suit gives you, or the Master Sword gives you when it turns you into Link, if you get bumped by something, do you lose those powers and now you're stuck in the level because you can't go any further? I really hope that they do this in a different way so that it's more like when Mario gets like a music thing playing on him where he doesn't lose it if he bumps into something. I think that that would be better. Just it's basically Zelda Maker at that point. And that's what we've all been asking for. Although I think many of us were really not asking for Zelda Maker as much, or this as much as we were like a top-down Zelda dungeon maker kind of thing that they tried to kind of sort of give us in Link's Awakening. I think this is closer to what we want, and I'm excited to check it out. And let me know what you all think in the comments section down below if you're watching this on YouTube or any of the other ways that you guys can get a hold of me. You know how to do all that stuff.